I'm Jen of JST Network Designs, and today I want to show you how to do a 1x1 tubular bind off. Here we have a 1x1 tubular cast on, and you can see that it has this lovely finish. Your knit columns literally come over the edge and wrap around and just give it a lovely polished finish. Here we're going to be working it in the flat. I have another tutorial for working a 1x1 bind off in the round, so have a look at that because the setup is slightly different in how you start your stitches. But for this one, it's going to be worked flat. To start with, what you need to do is have your darning needle thread width about 4 times the length of the fabric that you're going to be binding off. So our setup is we have a purl stitch here, and when we work a tubular or Italian bind off, we literally are going to be, you work into the purl stitch knitwise and you work into the knit stitch purlwise, and effectively you're just kind of wrapping it around and you create a mock stitch. So here we go. So we have a purl stitch first here, so we're going to go into that knitwise. This is for our setup, and just bring it through. And then we have a next knit column, and we're going to go into that purlwise. So here we are, we're going to purl off. So when we're taking our stitches off the needle, we're going to purl off the purl stitches. You're going to go around the back, you're going to skip the first stitch, come in between the two of them, and go into the next purl stitch knitwise. Then we have our knit column, so we're going to take that off knitwise, skip the next purl stitch, and go into the next knit column purlwise. Oops, I'm just getting all a little tangled here. And it's always like that at the beginning and then settles down. So now we have a purl column. Again, purl columns come off purlwise, and then you go into the next purl column knitwise, remember, around the back, in between the two, and into that purl. When you do this, it's actually, as I say in my other one, it's a lot easier, and it all starts to, you can start to see your knit columns already coming up here. So we have a knit column, so we're going to go into that and off the needle knitwise, skip the purl, go back into the next column purlwise. Following one is a purl stitch, so we're going to go into that and off the needle purlwise, come around the back in between the next 2 stitches, and go into the next purl column knitwise, or next purl stitch knitwise. And you just continue, keep working that all the way across. So knit column, off knitwise, and into the next knit column purl, and then we have a purl column, come into it, off the needle purlwise, come around the back, skip the knit, and go into the next knit or purl stitch knitwise. And so on. And you just keep working that all the way across. And it gives you this lovely, lovely edge. And that is it. And you can see we already have a lovely, lovely knit columns coming over, like we have our knit columns here on the big cast on, and then this is our bind off. And that's it. You continue on across the way you go, and well, that is it. So knitwise, off the needle, and back into it on the needle purlwise. For the knit stitches and for the purl stitches, come off purlwise, go around the back and into the next purl stitch knitwise, and so on. Okay, I hope you enjoy that. As I say, check out my other tutorial for doing this in the round. There's a slight difference on the beginning, and that's how we go. Okay, enjoy.